so what are the chances of this being a really, really short video? Yeah, not very high, it's me, isn't it? Hello guys, what's happening? It is Matt here from Sophisticated Obsession, and today we are going to be getting back into fragrancing. Yes. How long has it been since I've actually talked about a fragrance? Okay, yeah, it was like 4 months back. Wow, that's tragic. Okay, so today, guys, what we're gonna be doing is we are gonna be talking about what is a niche fragrance and what is a designer fragrance. I'm gonna start off by saying there isn't actually a set definition of these two categories of fragrances. Now, I know that that sounds like a bit of a cop-out, but there's actually a lot more to it than just simply putting it into a category and saying this fragrance goes into the niche category or this fragrance goes into the designer category. So today, what I'm going to be talking about are some of the things that might make a fragrance a niche fragrance, or what might make a designer fragrance a designer fragrance. Got that? Cool, let's go. Okay, so first of all, what is a niche fragrance? This fragrance is rarer to come across. Not all fragrances, but some in the niche category will also use ingredients that are then rarer to come across as well. This, in turn, boosts one thing: price. Usually, fragrances that come under the niche category tend to be a lot more expensive than the designer counterpart. Now, it doesn't actually come down to just being rare or expensive. It actually comes down to other things as well, such as, what is the brand? Is this brand a brand that then offers only fragrances or items to do with that fragrance, or do they offer more, such as clothing? If the latter is the case, it probably is dipping into the designer category rather than the niche category. Two examples of niche fragrances might be by Kilian or Le Labo. Both of these are fragrance brands that are solely dependent on their fragrances. Now, yes, these are hellishly expensive, they are. However, they actually then do come with a little bit extra than what your designer brands might offer you. Le Labo offers things like it getting made fresh for you when you then purchase it. Now, that might be online or it might be going into one of the boutiques. It does mean that you are going to be then getting a fresh product every single day. That is a service that designer brands just can't really attain. They can't, they're too large. So having a smaller, more niche brand allows companies like Le Labo to then really sort of make the experience a lot more special. Okay, so now we come on to the designer side of things. A designer brand is a brand that not only focuses on fragrancing, but also on other things as well, such as clothing, handbags, just general accessories. Designer fragrances tend to be a lot cheaper than niche fragrances. Two examples of designer fragrances are Dior Sauvage or Bleu de Chanel by Chanel. Both of these are very well-known designer brands in the fashion community, and they both have fantastic reputations in the fragrance community as well. These are a lot cheaper than the niche counterparts that I have then spoken about earlier, but that does not mean that they do skimp on the quality. There are a lot of designer fragrances that offer fantastic quality for like a third of the price of what you would be paying for a niche fragrance. Designer fragrances tend to be a lot more mass appealing than niche fragrances. Now, the problem with niche fragrances is sometimes they can be rather unique. That doesn't really suit everybody's tastes. However, designer fragrances, they are designed to mass appeal. Therefore, designer fragrances have been known to smell incredibly similar. You could not say that these two fragrances smell exactly the same. However, there are similar qualities about each of these fragrances. Again, you could say that Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille and Santal 33 are they are not easy wears by any means. I have heard quite a few people slating both of these. I, for one, wasn't really a fan of Tobacco Vanille. I kind of got it under, well, peer pressure more than anything, because everyone was raving about it. However, I do understand and I do appreciate the artistic quality behind it. So now we come on to an area that may be getting a little bit confusing. A lot of designer brands have sort of got on the niche train, as it were. Quite a few brands have now started creating a more exclusive range in their fragrance lines. One of the first people to have done this is Tom Ford. Tom Ford made a name for himself at Gucci when he sort of turned that failing house around. He has now opened up his own brand. And within his beauty line, he has the Private Blend collection. This is Tobacco Vanille, one of his first fragrances that he then created in the Private Blend collection, and also probably one of his most famous fragrances. If you were looking at just the fragrance and just the overall sort of experience that you then get with this, you would put this into the niche category. It is expensive. It does use precious materials and ingredients in this blend. And these fragrances are not easy to come by. They would be sold in either high-end department stores or exclusively online to a certain amount of sellers. This has been expanding ever since Estee Lauder did take over Tom Ford, but even still, looking at just all of the hallmarks of this fragrance, you would put that into the niche category. However, Tom Ford's a designer. Tom Ford doesn't just do fragrances, he does clothing as well. So technically, it should be a designer fragrance, but it doesn't quite fit in either category. So it would go in the middle. Another fragrance brand like this, but in reverse, would be Jo Malone. Now, Jo Malone focuses on beauty products, fragrances, candles, creams, and things like that. So you would say that this does teeter onto the niche side of things. However, Jo Malone is relatively easy to come by here in the UK. For a niche fragrance, you are not paying a premium price. This would probably be around about a third of what a Tom Ford is. It is a niche fragrance, but it has so many qualities of being designer. So again, that would probably go in the middle. So as you can see, it's actually not so easy to then just simply define a fragrance. Sometimes a fragrance just might be a hybrid. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what a category of a scent is. If you enjoy it, wear it. So guys, I hope that this has been enlightening, and I hope that this has helped you on your journey through designer and niche fragrances. So if you've got any questions about any of the fragrances that I have mentioned, or if you want to then talk a little bit more about the definitions that I've given to niche or designer fragrances, then just hit us up down below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, please check us out on Instagram to see what we are getting up to, and hit that big subscribe button. Stay safe, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.